My name is Wendy Nelson. This is Zoe Nelson. She's an English Springer Spaniel. She's our fourth one. We like Springers. With her floppy ears, there's oftentimes they can get an infection just from having water in there. But 2 summers ago, she got above and beyond the most awful ear infection. I took her to the vet. He had not seen such an awful ear infection in his career. Once I told him we lived on a lake, he was pretty much convinced that she had picked up something from probably the blue-green algae and I didn't know any better. It was our first summer on the lake. It took about 4 months to beat it. Oral pills. I ended up having to give her injections of antibiotics that took 2 different trips to the lab to figure out one that would even touch this infection. But thank goodness it finally went away. We have a wonderful person named Gloria who does a weekly testing on Tuesdays, and that was something I looked forward to every week, so I knew whether to keep Zoe, who loves the water, and also family members out of the lake if it was not a bad, if it was a good enough reading or a bad enough reading to stay out.
Algal blooms can create a harmful situation for communities living next to water bodies. Exposure to these toxins can create some severe health issues, both if you're wading in them or if you've ingested them. A person knows that they're engaging with polluted water from an algal bloom if they see what appears to be an oil slick-like blue-green brightness in the water. But sometimes you're not so good with observing whether that's actually what you're seeing. So if you have been in the water in any way, you might wonder what are some symptoms of coming into contact with toxic algal blooms. One, you might have rashes and blisters that are on the surface of the skin that has made contact with that water. Often you'll see that around your lips or your swimsuit area. If you have ingested the water, you might have some symptoms where there's nausea, fevers, severe stomach pain, as well as gastrointestinal issues. So if you have been in or around water that you think is polluted, those are some symptoms to watch out for in yourself as well as your pets, because they're also susceptible to severe harm if they come into contact with that algae as well. Everyone should be extremely aware of not just the dangers of algal blooms, but how not to contribute to them. So the first step is to be able to identify what you're seeing. If you see what appears to be oil slick, bright green or blue something in the water, that should be an indicator that maybe that water isn't too safe to swim or fish in, even boat or wade. One should really get in contact with their local health department to report what it is that they're seeing to help keep other people safe. So homeowners can help keep their local waters healthy and safe by managing yard waste. So decaying leaves and grass and clippings can be blown into local waters, and as they decompose, it takes up oxygen and produces just the appropriate conditions for blue-green algae to thrive. Communities can also invest in green infrastructure. These are landscapes that actually are working landscapes. You can kind of benefit from helping protect the water by creating buffer strips. You can use nature to intercept runoff like trash and leaf debris. One of the reasons why buffer strips are really attractive is that it's aesthetically pleasing, so you can have beautiful flowers and create a favorable landscape to protect the water.